Good.
Test, 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 test,
Right.
test, test,
Present.
test, 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 test. Is it working?
There we go.
Is it working?
There we go. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
rock on. All right. New week, new episode. We're back. This week we're finishing up 2B Hero X. The last 12, I'm sure we all have thoughts. I thought personally the first 12 better. Still pretty good. There was one absolute banger of an episode, and then the rest of it was more confusing time skips. Uh, what,
But they can explain.
without talking about story, overall thoughts on the last 12, fellas.
Go ahead, Izzy.
Definitely more story based. Explains a lot of it. A couple of good fight scenes, not as much as the others, but it's focused on a couple of heroes and villains that pop up. I give it
Yeah.
a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I liked the 12. Of course, I think the first 12 episodes were the best. The second episodes were kind of confusing to kind of stick with at the end there. But I like that you could see more about X and fear and things like that. So I think it was a good wrap up to the season. I think they ended it off very well as well. I liked it. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't
Great.
think I was going to at the beginning.
Great show. I have a couple complaints. Yo, chat's quiet. PeakyPie.com brings real viewers instantly. Remove the space. All right, thanks, Big OX Tell Lover. You're a bot. So, first chat that I've read on this, and it's a fucking bot. Cool. Anyway, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Me and Izzy were talking before you got on. There's one point when we get to it that I don't love, just in general, when stories try and do this, but we'll get there. And this one, since so many of the hero stories kind of run together, and like as in going on, their stories are going on concurrently to each other. I figured we could just talk about the main heroes it touched on, and then talk about the story, if that's cool with y'all. I figured that'd be the best way to do it.
We can do
For
that.
sure. I mean,
That's
it
fine.
stays character like based for the first couple, then it
Yeah,
looks back up.
yeah. The first episode of the last 12 was following Lolly or Loli or however they said her name, and basically she's like I don't know, like a bad female Iron Man, pretty much.
I was thinking like Harley Quinn in an Iron Man suit.
That's a better example. She has a
Yeah.
baseball bat. She's interesting. So at first, people are like, she's too cute to be a hero. Like nobody took her seriously, right? But I thought her design was horrendous.
Yeah, like her as a kid, like she was a cute kid, but like whenever she grew up and like things like that, or like her style, like her art design just didn't mesh well.
Her hat and her insane hair and
Her hat was fucking ugly.
yeah, dude. It was,
That big
It was
dragon
so-
hat.
my
Yeah, it was
assumption
fucking
is she
ugly.
wore that ugly ass hat to not be considered cute. But
Well, she fucking did a great job.
yeah, as far as powers go, she has like a robot suit basically. Like I mean, pretty much an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And
Mech.
it can resist fear and trust because of a plot point I don't love. We'll get to it.
Oh yeah.
And so basically, she's only a hero because of the suit, just like Iron Man. Without it, she's nothing special. But she's I mean, she's really
Well-
smart. She has she's super smart. She helped build her suit.
But she's
Um,
strong too.
Was she strong? I think that was just because of her suit.
At the beginning, she's lifting those weights, and then she gets
Oh,
the
yeah, you're right,
trust
you're
of those
right.
guys.
Yeah,
I
but
wanted
then
to
her
see
body.
her.
I think that must have been in the future because her body shrinks after her hat falls off or whatever.
Because her trust goes down. Because
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
like,
her
a
trust was down
girl.
because people are like, oh, it's a girl.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so I guess she does have strength when people can't see her face, and then it's assisted by the suit. Which in the suit she looks like she's wearing like a baseball hat, and it's just like a digital smiley face looking thing for the most part.
Yeah.
So that's Lolly, a female Iron Man basically. The next hero we see is it Johnny or was it Ghostblade?
It was
Chronologically, I don't-
Ghostblade.
Okay.
Well, technically, Little Johnny was in the first 12 episodes.
Yeah, technically, but like he gets his backstory and stuff. I guess it doesn't matter what where we go. So Ghostblade. Ghostblade's pretty cool. He's just a dude with a knife and crazy like assassin abilities.
Yeah, no emotions.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah,
No emotion. Can't talk.
he
Death.
he's basically what we thought was gonna be new Esol. He is exactly what we said new Esol was gonna be. He's that. He's MG's puppet.
Yeah. hmm
But as
One
far
of.
as yeah,
One of, yeah.
as it turns out, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as like superpowers go, though, he's just really good with knives and has crazy quick reflex. He's an assassin, basically. He's like a superpowered assassin. Like there wasn't really anything special. Like I don't think he could fly. He was fast, obviously,
Couldn't fly.
but like he's
No,
just
yeah.
you put a knife in this man's hand and he's golden. Like that's it.
Yeah, there was nothing that he did special. I mean, like whenever they were at the ruins and he was chopping up vegetables, he was like, "Oh, hey man, go do this," and then he's like, "Kitchen knife," and then he went off. So
Yeah.
really, any knife, I guess, is what the man loves, and that's all he's good at, besides moving quick.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
can't
with
speak because that's what his fans think. So that plays into the story big time here soon when we get to the story part. But
semi-invulnerable to fear. I mean, he got that little drop in him, but
I think
nothing compared to what
the
others were getting.
way everything played out is everybody's vulnerable to fear in the end because there's a point when like Old Nice gets one drop on him and he starts freaking out.
Well, yeah. What do you mean he's invulnerable to fear? Like he can't be, or like
did you
fear
say
can't touch
invulnerable
him?
or vulnerable?
Yeah, invulnerable.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I heard you wrong. Yeah, he may have been. Or maybe he was. I don't remember. Was he?
I mean, they say he was the only reason why they survived because he doesn't show emotion. He doesn't have any.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, because they got attacked by the DJ dude. Yeah.
Yeah, which that was a wild twist on that guy.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I guess after Little Johnny, we can hit the first big story beat because that's the last new hero that gets introduced.
Ahu.
Well, no, I'm saying that's the last new hero that gets introduced at the alien crash site, and then we can touch on that story beat and then go into.
Oh,
Ahu
okay,
next.
yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So little Johnny turns out his dad. Oh wait, I'm getting into the story. Sorry. His abilities, he himself, pretty much, from what I could tell, doesn't have any. It's all Big Johnny.
It's all Big Johnny.
Yep.
And I was right. Big Johnny was the giant alien at the end of episode 12.
Yeah, I put that in my notes. I was right about Big Johnny.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't think anybody didn't see that coming.
No. I mean, I had my suspicion about it, but whenever you said it, I was like, yeah, that if everybody's in agreement, then
yeah. So little Johnny's ability is basically that he can control Big Johnny. He can make him not necessarily control him, but make him calm down when he's rampaging. Basically, like as in big Johnny form.
Yeah, big old Johnny form.
Because Big Johnny is the one that's tuned with him, and he like senses his feelings, and that's why he goes rage mode.
Like, yeah, like whenever Big Johnny gets mad, Little Johnny gets angry, and then it's like coexist.
Yeah, so that's the first three new heroes that get introduced, and this story beat follows all three of them like simultaneously, kind of similar to how Cyan and Queen's story ran almost together in the first 12.
Yeah.
So this, I think it was the first like 6 or maybe 7 episodes of the last 12 are all super contingent on each other. They all play off each other, except like obviously there's the the first 10 or so minutes of certain episodes that is just that particular hero's backstory. But getting into the story beat, so it starts with Lolly. She's, too cute to be taken seriously. She wants to be a hero real bad. And she builds a suit basically to hide her face first off. And she goes out one night and helps and finds a Nuo or something like that.
Nuo. Yeah.
And saves her from what they assume is a stalker. And then basically, long story short, is like she kind of get the shit beat out of her a little bit. But they end up going away because the stalker just runs away at some point. I don't remember why. I think it was just because Lolly We find out why, but I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
she took off her mask, and then the guy
Yeah.
just goes
Yeah.
and then leaves.
Yeah.
So her and Nua and Lolly become very quick friends, and turns out Nua works for Lolly's father, who does all this research for heroes and is the reason she was able to build her suit. So cut forward a little bit, and Lolly and Nua are now working in this lab together. Yeah, working in the lab, and they're building Lolly's new suit. I'm skipping a lot here. I'm trying to remember what all happened. There's some minor plot points. Nua becomes a pretty important character. She has a stalker. They're building a new suit, and then it cuts to the old DJ hero. I don't remember what was his name. DJ something.
DJ Shindig or something
Yeah,
like that.
Shindig. Shindig
remember.
is like taken over. Well, he's not taken over by fear yet, but he does break into the laboratory they're working in, and he incidentally finds a part of the laboratory where they have like contained a large sample of fear, and he breaks in. He gets taken over by fear, and Lolly basically ends up beating the shit out of him with a robot bat and her new suit, and saves Nua. And at the end, Ghostblade pops up, and Lolly's dad shows up, and Ghostblade, it's assumed that he goes in there and finishes off the job, like getting rid of DJ Shindig and trying to contain the fear. And at the end of this first arc, I guess, of these three heroes, they're assigned to go to an alien crash site because Lolly's suit is made out of this metal from this crash site, and it resists trust and fear, and that's like insane in this universe.
Yeah.
So any story beats on this first bit of the alien crash arc that you want to touch on? I skipped a lot, but this was a brief summary from memory.
Is he?
I think it was Lolly's story where she starts to, as a kid, she was making inventions. It's like kind of crazy that her dad didn't catch on to that pretty soon.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
the
as soon as
mom,
he found out about the bunny suit that she made first, he was like pissed off and took all the shit away from the house.
Yeah.
yeah, and it seems like the mom lets her roam free downstairs all the time. So it's like your dad's not gonna notice that you're in his stuff. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
It's like number one, it's crazy that they have an entire like fucking
downstairs
factory in their
layer.
basement.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
number two, it's crazy that she worked on this project and built an entire fucking suit, and her dad's just like oblivious to the entire thing until it's
Well,
done.
it's set up that like he's always at work, like he's never home spending time with them or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but why have that whole shit in your basement and not be there? Like
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, it's kind of odd how all that worked out, but
Very smart
I mean,
chick. I mean, she created her own
smart.
inventions, so follows down with the lineage of her dad, and just seeing, yeah, like she's fed up with everybody thinking that she's cute. What's his face? Friend, the curly haired friend.
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name.
Oh,
I
the
should-
dude, the other smart dude that also worked in the lab.
It's Dao Zhang. Da Zhang.
Dajon. Yeah, something like
Da Zhang, something like that.
that.
And
Him, seeing him as a kid too, and then grow up later on in the episode. That's cool. So stayed in the
Yeah.
same field.
yeah, and it's crazy that DJ Shindig is like in this arc, he's the first bad guy. Turns out he's black, which is, I mean, no
Wait, was
dig
it?
or anything like that. Yeah, he was.
Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have it in my notes. Because I thought that was kind of wild. One of the first black
Oh,
guys
shit,
we
he
see
was.
is bad.
I
It's like the
forgot
first
about
black
that.
guy we see, and he's a bad guy. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Most scenes he was in, there was like low lighting, or it was dark, or he had his helmet on for the first parts.
Yeah, we didn't figure that out until the second episode, but it was just kind of funny. I just put it in there, and I was like, that's wild.
Yeah, so that was episode 12, 13, and 14. And then with 15 is where we get into Ghostblade's backstory before So the first episode is before they go to that alien crash site, and Ghostblade, his real name is Wong Yi, and it opens up. He's assassinating a target. And
Yep.
let's see here.
The target's asking for something, and what was he asking for?
I'm trying
just
to look at my notes and see.
Don't hurt him.
Yeah, I didn't
Anyway.
put what he was asking for, but anyway, the reason he like kind of has his backstory does is he grew up in a family of butchers, and it was extremely noisy, and he hated it. Kind of a weird backstory to be silent, but I guess it's better than nothing.
It's backstory, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And during one of his assassination missions, he saves a girl named Zong Lan, and the whole time during this backstory, the bitch doesn't put down her phone, dude. They get married, and she texts him and says, "I do," which I didn't catch on that he couldn't talk at this point, so it kind of makes more sense because like she texted him, "I do." Yeah, I thought for the longest time he did too.
Same.
But like as this story goes on, you find out he can't talk because that's what his fans think. So therefore, it happens. Just like Furman, how he couldn't sit down because his fans didn't think or wanted him to stand strong.
Yeah.
So anyway, he marries this chick, or finds her, falls in love with her while he's on an assassination mission, ends up marrying him. And they have a kid. Turns out the kid is Nua, and he has been her stalker. But he's only been stalking her because he's his dad. He's her dad, and he cares for her deeply. And since he can't talk to her, he feels like learning everything that she does and following her around is the best way to get to know her. Which, you know,
I thought that was a wild way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy take. Crazy take.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's hard to kind of obviously relate to that because we can all talk, but I mean, I don't know. I thought it was kind of sweet.
I guess.
Dude, it's crazy. They have this entire language for deaf people or mute people.
Hey, dude, we don't know if that's in this universe. We don't know if that's. We haven't seen one deaf person in this universe yet.
Hey, man, look, I'm gonna spoil something in a second. There's fucking aliens. There's no way they don't have some motherfucking symbol.
We don't know that. We don't know that, dude.
Well, I mean, Ahu, she does sign language to Ahu, some sort of language.
Yeah, and the text on the phone, he could just be like type it out and then show her.
All right, whatever.
That's what I thought. Well, I said write down on a notebook, like
write it down.
Anyway, after what I thought was his tragic backstory, it cuts back to them on the expedition, and he's in the car ride with Little Johnny, and he is fucking hating his life because Little Johnny doesn't shut the hell up the whole time. And he's like listening, and he has all this music preloaded, but it's all music that Nua would listen to. It's like Little Johnny's like, "Oh, you like Lucky Cyan? I didn't know an old guy like you would like Lucky Cyan."
Just dreading it, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how this one ended. I mean, a tragic backstory, setting him up to be the silent killer type, and then some comedy relief at the end with the boy Little Johnny, who I ended up liking way more than I thought I would. When he was first introduced in the first 12, I couldn't stand him.
Yeah, I think, of course, we'll get into that episode whenever it comes to it. But I do like Little Johnny because, like, whenever he was sitting in the car with Ghostblade, I was like, dude, I would fucking shoot myself right in the face if I had to be stuck in the car with Little Johnny like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his emotions were a little overplayed, I thought. You know, like how he cries and laughs too much all the time. But I thought it was, his backstory gets into why he's so emotional.
Yeah. Correct, and that's why I like him. I think is his backstory is probably
that Big Johnny's the shit, dude.
Yeah, Big Johnny is fucking badass.
Sure. So the next episode, Ghostblade joins the expedition to the alien aircraft alongside his daughter, Professor Lu Tong, Lolly, and Little Johnny, and then a group of other researchers that work with Lolly's father. And during, let's see, yeah, okay. So during this is the episode where it's revealed that Ghostblade has been Nua's stalker. And first off, fucking Lolly's dad is like an old man.
Misreads that situation.
Yeah, he thinks Ghostblade's trying to bone Nua Nua, and it's like, nah, dude, it's just his daughter. And Lu Tong's like, hey man, I'll put in a good word for you. You know, I know you're a little older, but hey, I think you got a shot. Like,
What a
you
fucking
know?
wingman. What a fucking wingman.
Yeah,
The fact
but
that he comes in as a stalker and accused as a stalker by his daughter, and then he's like, "Hey, are you single? Single? Is she single? Maybe we can work something out."
I'll put in a good word for you, big dog.
Yeah, like, no, you're not weird. No, you should probably calm down. Like, oh, we'll try.
And another thing that is we learn a lot more about fear, I guess, in these first couple of episodes.
yes,
And the fucking aliens, dude, that is like the most random shit. There's
dude, that's what
fucking
I was
aliens
telling
now.
Izzy. I fucking hate aliens as a plot point. It's lazy because it just explains shit that the writer's like, oh, I don't really want to explain this. Aliens.
And I don't understand it. I mean, they're like, oh yeah, here we found this metal that Lolly built her suit out of. We got it at a crash site from fucking aliens down the road here. And
Yeah.
you're like, dude, what the fuck? Just what? Why? I
Like
don't know. That was a
I think
fucking. I did not like
in
that.
the end, so my assumption, especially near the end, and we'll get to it, but I don't think Fear was alien based off the last episode we just watched
No,
together.
no,
No,
it's
no.
not.
I
I don't
think
know if it's just a
I think
coincidence.
the aliens were just because of Big Johnny and this metal. That's it.
Yeah,
Or maybe when they came to Earth, they were using that as a shield because they knew what fear could do. And so
Yeah.
they built a spaceship and suits of armor or whatever that would block fear. So when they came here, they would get hit with fear.
Yeah, and one thing, while they're sitting around this campfire and it's revealed that Ghostblade's a stalker, little Johnny is like talking about all the songs he was listening to and all this shit that turns out to be Nua's favorite stuff. So it just makes him look way worse.
Yeah, he's way worse.
But anyway, during dinner, the group's like emotions just like all turn to like all of them like being super sad and like depressed, and it's because it turns out it's because of DJ Shindig. And this is the episode where it's revealed that Ghostblade is immune to fear because of his lack of emotions. Um, so Ghostblade and Shindig fight, and Ghostblade's wielding the steak knife that he used to cut up the vegetables earlier in the episode too. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So as long as this man's got a knife, he's gonna win. It seems like.
yeah.
And like yeah, so Ghostblade did get infected by a fear particle. And afterwards, Nua discovers Ghostblade's journal tucked in his coat, and she realizes that he is her father. And
And indeed does not want to bone.
do what?
I said, and indeed does not want to bone
Yes, that is true.
that we
Yeah,
know
and
of.
then this episode ends with little Johnny like kind of disappearing into a hole or something. I think at the alien crash site, and him and Big Johnny are like snooping around down there.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
Ghostblade is whenever he leaves with his knife, he's contracted to go kill Little Johnny and
Yes.
Big Johnny.
Yep.
So he follows them basically into the hole.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's the next episode or if that's
I think the next episode is Little Johnny's past, and then it gets into Ghostblade going down there to try and kill him
yeah, because Ghostblade gets a call from his management team. Is like, hey,
from
you gotta
from
go
Rock.
Uncle Rock.
Yeah, and he's like, hey man, you gotta go do this. You gotta go kill Little Johnny and Big Johnny. And so
Yeah,
that's
they
what
said that. I think the phone call they said the inside of the alien ship's layout's complex. You're not going to get a better chance than this.
yeah, and so then you know that at that point he's following them to, you know,
Off his ass.
yeah, all of that.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I mean, any thoughts on Ghostblade's past or anything that I left out that you want to touch on?
Well, I mean, so at the beginning, whenever DJ Shindig comes out and puffs all that fear into the air, it's like Ghostblade was starting to cry.
That's
And
when he knew something was off. Yeah.
yeah, it's like he's like, "Oh my gosh, I can cry," and then he's like, "Something's wrong here," and then he looks over and everybody's crying, and then he gets up and walks away. So, do you think that he is immune to
I don't.
fear, and he just cried because he actually does feel emotion?
My assumption would be that he's not immune to fear, but he's super resistant to it because of what everybody thinks of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I could see it where, like, if he was over, like, because I mean, fucking DJ Shindig basically fell into a vat of fear the way that the lab was set up. Like, I think if Ghostblade took on that much fear, then maybe. But I think it'd take a large amount. Like, you see later on in the series, like, a person gets a drop of fear on them and they get consumed.
Yeah, so my thing was I didn't know if maybe it was just like a lot of fear in the air or if maybe he's actually immune to it and they're showing or foreshadowing maybe that he does feel emotion and he does cry and all these things.
I mean, it wasn't an emotional part too, wherever they were all discussing their like family like
That's whenever little
situations.
Johnny and Nuo Nuo were talking about their past. And so I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, since it, Nuo Nuo was like, hey, I didn't have a dad. He died, blah, blah, blah. And then that's whenever he walks away.
Like, dang, that's me.
Yeah, and then he started crying, and then everybody started crying. That's whenever he's like, "Oh shit, I'm crying. Something's wrong here."
I did start to notice the background though when it did start to turn purple and they're all hanging out. I was like,
Yeah, it's
something's
like a
about to happen.
haze, like a haze to it. You're like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck's going on here?"
You know, to make it any more sad.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
that's
Lolly and Ghostblade episodes back to back were rough. It was hard for me to watch these. I thought they were boring.
Oh yeah, they were like right here, right behind each other. You'd be watching one and then you'd watch it again from his perspective. It's just like
Yeah, it was
yeah,
basically the same 4 episodes back to back.
I think they could have just done a flip like in time, like where they're at that restaurant eating lolly and no, and then Ghost plays behind that bush,
Yeah.
where it's like they just reflect to that
yeah.
perspective then and there. But
I
I
agree.
mean,
That would have let out a lot of like just nuances, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like you're watching the same shit, and
yeah.
it did get very, very repetitive and very annoying.
Like, have either of you ever seen shit, what's it called?
Golden Boy,
No.
Seen
King of the
that,
Hill,
great. Seen that
Down to
too.
Dawn season one.
The Melancholy
Seen
of
that.
Haruhi Suzumiya.
No.
No.
So there's like 6 episodes of this show. It's a good show, but there's like 6 episodes that are basically in a row that are basically the same episode because the characters get like stuck in a time loop or something. I don't remember the main cause, but that's when I stopped watching the show because I could not sit through the same episode again.
I mean, if there's an effect like a time loop situation, that's a little bit more justified. Like if they're trying different things or
Oh,
if
I'm
they're stuck
sorry.
in...
It's 8 episodes, and the arc is called the Endless Eight.
Oh,
It's a rough one.
well,
If we ever
well
get to that
named.
one, I will finally get to finish the show after many years, but
I mean,
that arc's
it seems
tough.
to be well. It seems to be well received online.
Well, the thing is, there's slight differences with each one, but I'd say 90% of each episode is the same, and this is kind of what that felt like.
I mean, the rating on
Hmm.
Crunchyroll is 4.5 out of 5.
Well, yeah, it's like a cult classic show, but I'm just saying
Oh,
the
is it?
Endless Eight's tough to sit through, which I
But
didn't do
many
it.
shows have seasons that you have to sit through, and people tolerate that.
Yeah, but they're not
I
8
think what
of the identical episodes.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this one was rough. It was still worth the watch. Everything in this show is super well animated. The story, you start to get a lot more story beats here. Like, this is when it starts to turn into, oh, they're not just introducing heroes. There's an overarching story to this plot.
Yep.
Mhm.
Associations starting to climb up on each other,
Yeah.
build
Yep.
up tension, try to line up a situation to where they off certain heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, anything else on Ghostblade or Lolly at this point? Or should we move
Nope.
on to little Johnny?
Let's get to little Johnny.
Cool suit on Ghostblade, I would say that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his hero
best
suit is
character
pretty sick.
design, in my opinion, one of the best character designs in this.
Yep.
I mean,
I said
Queen's
one
still
of.
better, but all right.
I said one of.
Yeah, dude. You best put Queen on her pedestal where she belongs, brother.
Brother, she could be on the ground.
All right, dude. She'll make a rule that she can't be.
Such.
Fair.
Whoa.
All right. So anyway, little Johnny's backstory starts at episode 17. His father, Ah Shing, or something like that. These names are
Yeah, something like that.
tough. He was a former top hero. If I remember correctly, he was ranked 2 or 3.
2. Yeah.
2.
He was
Okay.
2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's following little Johnny as they get deeper into the hole. They basically fell down, and then like Big Johnny that's like sniffing something out. They're going down this hole. Or I'm sorry, that hasn't happened yet. This is the flashback part. His father was also at this alien crash ship. My bad. And his father's the one who discovered Big Johnny and brought him home. And at some point, I don't remember if it happened after he brought home Big Johnny or not, but his wife passes and he decides to retire, basically out in the sticks with a son and the new pet that they call Big Johnny. And it's because little Johnny is convinced that Big Johnny's his son because his mom said that babies are stars. Yeah, and they come down here, and I can't remember what she said, but so Big Johnny's
each star is a baby, and it comes down to their parent.
Yeah, that's right. And so little Johnny, based off that description, is convinced that this alien dog is his son because it came down and came home with his father.
Yeah, so she passes before he gets him for sure.
Yeah, and
he went out.
I don't remember if it's this episode. I'm pretty sure it is. But the reason Ah Shing decides to retire is because his hero ability was that he could heal anything except his dying wife, apparently.
Yeah,
which sucks. I mean, yeah, it's a shitty setup. So he's like, well, if I couldn't even heal her, I'm going to just retire and go live a simple life with, the family I have left, basically. Well, MG, not a fan of that idea. Oh. So it turns out Ghostblade was contracted, and the person he's killing at the beginning of his backstory is Ao Shing, who is little Johnny's dad. And poor little Johnny comes up on his dad's dead body. And as he does that, Big Johnny, I guess they're connected, and they feel, he starts to feel little Johnny's emotions and his sadness and everything he's feeling when he discovers his dad's dead body. And he goes big black ape mode.
Nine tails mode.
Yeah, he goes big black dog with horn mode, like giant monster.
It's almost like a Anubis type deal.
Yeah.
Hey, only took 7 episodes, fellas.
It wasn't even that bad. It just caught me off guard.
Yeah. So basically, Big Johnny is the giant we see at the end of episode 12, right? Yeah. And he's just tearing shit up through this town. And everybody in this town fucking hates heroes, dude. Like they loathe heroes, apparently. And as X, did I write the current Vortex? During this timeline, the current hero X is Vortex, and he shows up to try and stop Big Johnny and fails miserably.
Not good.
And backed around.
Yeah, there's a little bit of backstory of Ao Shung and Vortex, and turns out Vortex needed Ao Shung to be able to beat somebody that he couldn't beat without Ao Shung's ability to hold his Hero X spot. So this whole time Vortex is trying to convince him. So that's why Vortex shows up, is because he just so happens to be in the area coming back to find Ao Shung to make a last ditch effort to be like, hey, you got to come back. Mm-hmm. Come out of retirement. But instead he gets his ass beat by Big Johnny. And little Johnny is convinced that Vortex must have killed his dad. So little Johnny's just yeah, Big Johnny, kick his ass. And then at the end, it's shown that little Johnny was able to calm down Big Johnny. And because of this, obviously it was live streamed like every other thing in this universe. And so he grows crazy popular. because he stopped the hero, or he stopped the monster that beat X, right?
Yep.
And during one of the flashback scenes with Vortex and Ao Shung, they're in an elevator, and I made a note of this. And it's they were talking about the very first hero, Zero. And they said after Dawnfall, no one will be granted powers to surpass the gods.
It
And
started opening up a lot.
yeah,
right
and
there.
for what the next 7 episodes, we have no idea what
That's-
that means until the very end of episode 24. They explained what Dawnfall was. So
Yeah.
that was nice foreshadowing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anything on Little Johnny's backstory?
Him
That was
like
17 and
having
18. Sorry, I jumped into both of those, I guess, a little bit. But I haven't finished on 18. So backstory goes from 17 to 18, my bad.
just how little Johnny grows up and he's like upset with Vortex and wants to get his revenge on him.
Yeah.
Meets him at the hospital and is like, I'm gonna take your hero spot.
Yeah. It was badass.
Then and then Vortex dies in that same plane crash that Lucky Cyan's in.
Oh, really?
Crazy time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't catch
Yeah,
that. I
that's
must have
whenever
missed
he.
that.
That's whenever he gets like real sad. He's like, "There's
Yeah,
no
so he
point
gets
being a hero no
depressed.
more." Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
see him as a
that's
little
why they let
kid.
that plane go down.
Yeah, yeah. Which is wild, just how they all fit.
Damn,
But-
that must have happened after the credits rolled or something, because I did not see that scene.
Yeah, it's odd because you would think that I don't know if he was because they didn't specify that he was if he was in the plane crash or the motherfucker just landed on his ass. Like they don't really tell you what happens. I assume he's in the plane crash, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
or
'cause
maybe,
he
or
can't
were they
use his-
saying like he tried to stop the plane crash and wasn't able to?
No, because
I
I don't
think he was in
think
it.
yeah, I think he was in it. Which
Yeah.
that brings up two things. Number one, he's hero or the current hero X
Was
at the time,
after
or
he
yeah,
got
was
beat, he dropped
Yeah,
out
he-
of the top 10.
he was the hero X. So he's still a powerful dude. How you dying in a plane crash? Number two, the motherfucker can fly.
And
Why?
He was
control- and
very
literally
hurt.
control air.
Why is he in the plane to begin with? That's why I was like, maybe the motherfucker fell down on his ass. I don't know. I was confused about that plot, like that he died in the plane crash.
Well, he
I
was
don't
gonna fight. Wasn't Lil Johnny gonna fight him in the arena?
Oh
And then
yeah,
that-
he
Yeah.
said he was going to
Yeah.
fight
When
him in
he
the next
died.
Hero tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, because then that's whenever little Johnny was like, there's no point in being a hero no more, and then he's wasting away in his room, and then I forgot what pulls him out and what gets him back. In I guess like wanting to be a hero again because that was in the same episode, pretty sure.
Did a hero? I remember him doing a flashback while he's watching TV.
It's maybe something his dad said about like being able to like laugh or like being able to smile. Do you remember whenever he said that?
Oh,
He's
you're
like,
talking about Lil Johnny right now?
yeah, whenever he's like, my dad was like, the good thing about crying is
Yeah, that's why he's so emotional. I don't remember what he said exactly, but he's like, when we cry, we basically let it all out, like let your emotions run free, and when you're happy, be overzealous, basically.
yeah, it's like I've forgotten. I think he remembers that, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, time to be a
I
hero
need
because
to-
he
I
was
need-
playing. He was
yeah.
playing a fighting game at the time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
as
he was.
his dad.
It was like Tekken, but like with heroes from
Yeah,
this
he was
universe.
playing as his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also another thing is whenever Vortex came back to see Lil Johnny's dad, and he's like, "Hey, I need your help to defeat this person because you're a healer." Can people team up?
I don't
In
think
the
so.
tournament?
I think it was implied that Vortex wasn't a good match against this person, but somehow, like, Ao Shang wasn't just a healer. Like, that was his main thing, but he
Yeah,
could
he
also
was a really
fight.
good fighter,
But
but
because I think it was like my assumption was because it would be a war of attrition, like Ao Shang would be able to outlast this other hero because he could just heal himself. But Vortex, for some reason, was a bad matchup against him. So if he was paired with Ao Shung in the tournament, he would get knocked out,
okay.
and then Vortex would be able to, mop the floor with Ao Shung.
Okay, so he's basically just trying to pull him back as like a bait.
It's cannon
basically,
fodder.
for another. Okay. All right. And another thing that we didn't touch on about how the commission sees trust value as bad. So like fear and trust value is bad, but
Yeah.
at the same time, the trust value is almost like oil nowadays. You can't really get rid of it because it's going to collapse your infrastructure. I thought that was an interesting point because they talked about that whenever they're going to the plane or the alien crash.
I liked how they started to see, oh, yeah, trust is no longer going to be needed
Yeah,
because of fear.
we want to kind of get rid of them both, right? Like that's why you need to find this metal stuff, and you need to
Yep.
Yeah.
figure out a way to get rid of both of them because somebody's
That
going to
was
become a god again. That's
that
when
was the
they become a god.
professor's whole research towards that and why they went
Yeah,
see what they could figure out. But other than it being like a super big ambush, I don't think they really gained much from it.
no, no. And I think that was the commission or like all the groups' big thing was ambush them, not to kill anybody really, but to just stop the research on this material. Because, of course, they're making money from the trust values and things like that and fear.
Yeah.
So, like,
Mhm.
ambush them. Obviously, they wanted to kill them, but they're like, that's the whole point was to get that stopped. So, yeah, that's the only other thing I wanted to touch on.
Yeah. So, anything else from you, Jizrel?
Uh, no.
All right. So back to the alien spaceship. Little Johnny and Big Johnny keep exploring, and then at some point, I don't remember what causes it, but Little Johnny starts hallucinating that he's back in the same forest that he found his father's dead body in.
That was the fear from Shindig.
Okay, is that so? The fear from Shindig's still lingering,
Hmm.
and Little Johnny is back in that forest, and he's feeling all these emotions again, which causes Big Johnny to go crazy again. And during this time, there's a kind of a flashback to when Queen is told to take her vacation, and it turned out to be like a hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Queen, go to this alien crash site and frame it as a vacation.
Yeah.
So during the final showdown, like Ghostblade attempts to attack Johnny. Fucking New Esol shows up. Ghostblade and New Esol have an amazing fight. It looked like to me that Esol won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say
because
so.
without the help of little Johnny and those weapons, it would have been done for.
Yeah. So Esol turns out he was sent to eliminate everybody, but ends up only fighting Ghostblade because Ghostblade's just badass. Let's see. Nice appears at some point. He's trying to kill all the researchers. Him and Lolly start fighting. Let's see here. So Lolly and Nice are fighting. Ghostblade and Esol are fighting, and Big Johnny is going crazy, and Queen and Cyan show up. And
Simultaneously, almost
yeah,
like those fights.
that's how episode 19 ends. It's like all these fights are starting. And little Johnny is trapped basically underground from all the rubble that Big Johnny created by going, giant.
Yeah.
Which at this point, I was like, we were watching it, and I was like, that's New Nice. Like before he changed to
No, that was old Nice.
right, but
Yeah.
I thought we were caught up now to where it was like
I did too. I did too.
timeline.
When Nice showed up and he wasn't Lin Ling, I was like,
I was
what
like,
the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's whenever it kind of clicked in my head. I'm like, wait, we're not in.
Yeah, because I thought
We're in a different timeline than what I thought.
when we ended with Queen's episode, we were all right. We're caught up to where Nice's timeline or Lin Ling's timeline ended, right? No, we're not. We are still like, I think a year off at this point from when Lin Ling takes over Nice, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's like it's a year. I'm pretty sure it's a year.
So anyway, moving on to episode 20 real quick, because all episode 19 was setting up what the fights are about to be. Again, Ghostblade, Esol, Nice, Lolly, and Queen Cyan, Big Johnny.
Yep.
So episode 20 opens up with basically the Nice and Lolly fight. I don't remember exactly how this one ends, but Lolly wins, but Nice is not killed or really even injured. In
Yeah, they just
fact,
keep fighting. She fights pretty well. He can dodge everything, but then she has special like super glue
yeah,
that can get be deployed, and then she knocks down the whole like infrastructure, and she's like, dodge
yeah, traps
this.
him in, I think. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they continue fighting outside.
Yeah, and then Isol and Ghostblade, their fight ends, and it looked
Which for
almost
the lolly fight, I thought that the dad and Nuo Nuo were gonna be like, we believe in you, or we trust you, and that's when she got her strength back to like end that fight. I thought that would have been so sick.
yeah.
Yeah. And the
Well,
dad really.
that trope does come up, but it comes up way better
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
future episode. We'll get to it. I think that they would have. I think they would have wasted it with that fight, but the way when they did employ that trope, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, so I thought the same thing as Izzy. I thought that was going to happen. They were going to like believe in her. Her dad's finally going to be like, "Yeah, you're a hero," and then she's going to like beat the shit out of Nice. Instead, her dad told her to stay out of danger, and then ran away.
Yeah. When this fight was going on, I was like, oh man, Old Nice is a prick, dude. Who likes this guy? And then
For real.
you find out later why he was doing it, and it's like, man, Old Nice got the shortest end of the stick out of
Yeah,
anybody in this story.
Forced to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, he got fucked.
And then as far as the Soul and Ghostblade fight, I feel like little Johnny ends up helping Ghostblade out at some point a little bit, even though
Twice.
yeah, he throws him a knife or he throws him his boomerang at some point, and I think gets him out of
Three
one, like,
times.
was it 3?
Yeah, he throws him like an axe or something like
Like,
that, and then he throws his boomerang at him. And
I don't
Oh, he
remember
threw him a
if
knife.
little Johnny ever connected that it was Ghostblade that killed his father, or he did, and then he's like, "Well, I got to help out Ghostblade either way, or I'm dead."
I
I
don't think
I don't think he ever connected it, but like it's
No,
revealed to us, but I don't think it was ever revealed, has ever been revealed to little Johnny yet.
because he doesn't even know that Ghostblade was there at that time. To my
Yeah,
knowledge.
but without little Johnny's help, Ghostblade would have got shit on by Isol pretty hard. New Isol.
Good fight. Super fast moves by the both of them. And it seemed like Ghostblade could keep up, if not was a little faster, because he landed more attacks, I think, than
Yeah.
Esau.
And then I think he ended up damaging like Isol's like artificial arm, and that's kind of where like it was at a draw because Isol couldn't really fight, and then Ghostblade was pretty much just knocked out though cold.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was kind of confused. This is where I got really confused on the timeline, and
I did
actually had to
too.
pause
When I
and
saw
look
the
it up.
artificial arm, I thought it was old Isol.
It's the same.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I
Blood
didn't remember.
Knights.
I didn't remember New Isol losing an arm, but I guess he must have in the fight.
Yeah, me neither. But I knew that he had created those or what that guy's name was.
Yeah, but his
They
whole
created
forearm
arms.
was a metal arm.
Oh no, I agree. But it shows. I mean, what I liked about it is that once I really realized what timeline we were in, and this is New Esol, about how this man has really lost his way.
Oh,
He
Isol.
Well, like
is
we were-
now like
Well, I don't
Yeah,
think.
exactly
yeah.
what he didn't want to be.
Yeah, he turned, but it's like it's all because of Rock. Like this is
Oh,
how
no, I-
MG just holds their heroes.
No, I agree. But like that entire arc was him being like, "Yeah, man, I'm here just to fight crime."
Yeah, but
That's
it
all I
ended
wanted
with
to
him
do.
losing his way anyway.
Yeah, I know. But then he not only lost his way by killing old Esol, but now he's like trying to kill other people and doing Rocks.
Yeah, it
dirty
just
work.
confirmed what
And
we thought during the first 12.
So it was like it went
fun.
like down, and then it's fucking now it's plummeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like anybody that's under MG is just like made to be a silent, or not silent, but like a ruthless killer basically. Like they're
Yeah.
like, I guess out of all the hero agencies, MG is kind of treated like the commission's cleanup crew is the way it seems.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And like DOS is, I don't really understand DOS's position or DOS, because that's nice in them, and like I guess they just are like
They were-
trying to manage fear, I guess, but it's not really touched on. And then FOMO is like they're used to like tear down people with like slander, if needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so Isol and Ghostblade, they come to a draw, and then Queen shows up, and the coolest part of her abilities that I said like they didn't touch on in the first 12 episodes finally gets shown, and everybody freezes. Cyan's able to go find little Johnny. Big Johnny calms down, and the episode ends, and they frame it as Nice being, I don't remember how they framed it to get him out of attacking people, but like they're saying like, I can't remember what they said, but they made it to where like they made like Nice have no involvement basically.
Yeah, like you wouldn't help save them or something like that.
And then like I don't think it was ever said that Isol was there. Then obviously Queen and Cyan were like made to be like they saved the day, which they kind of did. Anyway, yeah, you get to finally see Queen's sweet ability that they barely touch on when they introduce her. Cyan throws her yo-yo and finds little Johnny.
Use her spray.
They canceled that year's ranking tournament because they call it the crash site disaster or something.
Yeah.
Because let's see here, Lolly, Isol, Ghostblade, and Little Johnny they're 4 of the top 10 heroes, and they're all extremely injured.
And Lucky Cyan. Well,
Lucky Cyan and Queen, I think, were fine.
Yeah, they were part of it, so I guess they were just like, yeah.
Oh, and Nice. Well, I don't think Nice wasn't in the top 10 at this point, which we find out later. But anyway, doesn't matter. So they canceled that year's ranking tournament because of the crash site disaster. All right, that should wrap up. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, that wraps up Ghostblade, Lolly, and Little Johnny. Anything else y'all want to touch on any of them?
I liked this point because I was like, all right, we're progressing again.
Yes.
Because like I said, with those first 2 episodes, I was like, what did I just watch? I honestly rewatched them because I was just so like, whoa, what? It was late at night, but it's still, I was like, I need to rewatch that to get 100%.
Yeah.
What happened?
Out of these 3, Lolly was still by far my least favorite. Ghostblade as a character was my favorite, but I think Little Johnny ended up winning the day for me as my favorite out of these 3 being introduced at the same time.
I think it was the story for him for sure that made it.
Yeah, 100%. Without the story, he's an annoying prick. Well, not even a prick. He's just an annoying twink.
Annoying teen, yeah.
Cat. Hey, they got to insert a twink cat girl boy into everything.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so if y'all got nothing else, we'll move on to Dragon Boy. Another horrible, horrible hero name, I think, personally.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dragon Boy's backstory is confusing. I didn't get it, but it opens up with him getting the shit beat out of him by like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 grown men.
Yeah,
it's a lot. And anyway, turns out his power is he absorbs all this shit you throw at him and then can throw it back twice as hard. So in the end, he ends up beating the shit out of all these dudes. And Rock shows up and is like, he says to him basically, I want to nurture you into a god. And then draws a circle of blood on his forehead, which was weird.
Incomplete, but yeah.
It was a C. Yeah, a C.
Yeah, so after that very, very brief backstory, it cuts to present day, and Rock and Dragon Boy are scheming on how they're going to get Dragon Boy into the top 10, because at this point, he's not in it. I think he was 11 or 12, and Nice was the other one. Like, Nice was 11 or 12, and then Dragon Boy was 11 or 12. I don't remember the exact order, but they were the 2 fighting for the next spot in the top 10. There's a little bit of Nice story during this episode. He, like, it's showing him, like, struggling. He's, like, taking a photo shoot, and he, like, can't produce a genuine smile, but then the hero Smile shows up, and turns out Nice idolizes Smile. He's the reason that Nice wanted to become a hero in the first place. And, you know, Smile gives him some advice, and he's able to make a real smile, I guess. And then after this episode's supposed to be about Dragon Boy, but it's pretty much about literally everybody else.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to Smile. And Smile is on his way to X's apartment. The actual X, the character X, not like current hero X. Because current hero X during this timeline is Smile.
Mm.
Or, I'm sorry. No, current hero X is still X, but Smile is number 2. He was X before it. Shit, I don't know. I'm so confused because Smile got beat out by Boa. So Smile's still in the top 10, I guess. No, he is number 10. That's right, because
He's number 10.
that's
Yeah,
why. Yeah, that's why he gets it.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, okay. So Smile's still in the top 10, and he's on the way to X's apartment. He brought beers and skewers. This implies that him and X have been friends for a while, and they're hanging out, they're broing down, and as Smile leaves the apartment, X's apartment, it ends with Dragon Boy showing up to ambush him. And Nice is nearby. And that's how the episode ends. Like, Smile and Dragon Boy fight for a little bit. And Smile's like, oh, I can tell you're a new hero. You don't think I know your ability? And he's just pummeling the shit out of Dragon Boy. And, like, I know Dragon Boy's ability is to turn it back twice as hard. But, man, Dragon Boy's not landing a hit to save his life.
Yeah.
Nope.
And it starts because Rock gave Dragon Boy
The order to go
pendant.
get him. Yeah,
A
that's
pendant.
right. His daughter's pendant. Yeah.
his daughter's pendant, and Smile was given a pendant by his wife with a picture of his daughter, because it seems like he only smiles to other little kids and not his own family. And so they had matching pendants, and Dragon Boy gets the daughter's pendant from Rock and is like, "Hey, I'll trade you places, and I'll tell you where your daughter is," because he has the pendant.
He says, "I'll tell you where she's buried."
Yeah,
And like the whole time, like Dragon Boy's coaxing him on. He's like, "I can't believe you're smiling after you learned that your daughter's been buried," because once again, everybody thinks that he always smiles, so he's incapable of not smiling.
Yeah. And then Smile absolutely starts fucking wiping the floor with Dragon Boy. I mean, just beating the absolute dog shit out of him.
Yeah,
For sure. Wailing on him underwater, tossing
Yeah.
him around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definite damage to that
Fucking
dude.
starts clapping cheeks, and then at the end, that's whenever he's like, Dragon Boy, he was like, Smile's got him right here, about to give him another motherfucking waylay, and he's like, "Hey, I know you've been watching us.
you gonna
And
join?
Smile, Nice is way over here in the fucking trees."
Yeah, dude, and poor Smile,
Yeah.
dude. Smile's like, "Oh, it's nice. We're friends.
Back up.
You gonna help me out finish this guy?" And Dragon Boy goes, "You old fool. He's not here for you."
Psych. He
And
is
then that's
there
where the episode
to-
ends.
Oh,
I know what you're about to say. That's where it ends. Now it opens on the next episode with what you're about to say. Go ahead.
Well, we know. No, I guess we don't. Because, okay, so it opens on the next episode, and Nice is at, was it MG?
No, he's at DOS.
Okay, so he's at DOS, and that poor dog. There was a dog that had fear, and they basically take the blood out of the dog, and they give it to Nice, and they're like, "Hey, you need to go kill Smile," let them both fight, because they know that Dragon Boy and Smile are about to
Yeah.
fight.
The initial
know.
plan is for Nice to inject Smile.
The initial plan was to inject whoever lost.
No, well, yeah, that's true, but it was assumed to be Smile,
Yeah, it was assumed to be Smile, but whoever lost, he had to inject them with fear
and then beat him.
and then beat the ass, because fighting with heroes out of the tournament is not allowed. So it basically gives them an end to fight him, and then that's whenever he shows up, and he just basically just sits there,
Well,
like
because he's
contemplating his entire
yeah,
decisions.
because he doesn't want to attack Smile. Like he doesn't want Smile to lose to Dragon Boy because he idolizes Smile, and he doesn't want Smile to win because that means he's got to kill Smile.
Yeah, so he's conflicted, and then he goes in, and then you think that he might be stabbing Smile, but he goes straight to Dragon Boy, and puts all that fear into him. And then go ahead, Travis, if you want to take over.
Yeah, because of Dragon Boy's ability, I get a little confused here, so y'all may have to back me up. But because of Dragon Boy's ability, initially it's you not know my power, I can absorb anything, even fear. But for a minute, he's like playing it up, like, oh, it hurts so bad, blah, and then he turns around and is like, I can even absorb fear. But he like,
Throughout the fight, he was fighting Smile, and Dragon Boy says, "Dang, almost," because he was like choking him out.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
oh
then
yeah, and then it flashes to him being underwater.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then he
I
gets
didn't get that either.
injected, and then that's what happens right after he gets injected, and then that's when fear takes over after him saying, "Yeah, that hurts," or then he transforms,
So
and then
that
that's when
was
you
his
see.
fear version. I thought that was just his power.
No, that's
thought-
his fear version.
I don't
I'm
think
pretty
so
sure.
Yeah.
because he's not consumed by fear.
Well, he gets hurt by fear. So like the fear is taking over his body, but he can use whatever is
Okay.
getting.
I see what
So
you're saying.
instead of
Which
so-
dude looks more like a goblin than a dragon in his
Yeah, 'cause
fear version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, so anyway, at some point, Dragon Boy is able to, like, I guess, like a pseudo breath attack, like a dragon would have, kind of looking thing. And basically, Smile ends up getting infected with the fear. And
Yeah.
Fear Smile was,
It's great.
like, just goes berserk. And then all of a sudden, Dragon Boy fear version, I assume is the fear version, but he's not consumed by it. He can still control himself. Pops up and punches that motherfucker smooth in half.
yeah.
Like one punch with a glowing red fist. Smile is punched in half. Fear
Yeah.
Smile's punched in half.
Yeah.
And then X shows up, and X is not happy because his buddy Smile is dead. And this is where we get to finally see X's abilities. And obviously, I'm still confused on what exactly X's abilities are. But my assumption is he's able to break the fourth wall because at one point, he literally takes the animation frame and crumples it up and throws it in the river.
You need to take a break.
Yeah.
Kobe
And
his ass in
then
the
when
room.
Dragon Boy comes back, he's no longer in his purple dragon goblin mode. He's in
Yeah.
regular Dragon Boy mode. And for some reason, dude, X just lets Nice and Dragon Boy walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Well, he is being recorded too, so
Well, yeah,
maybe he
but
took that into
still,
it.
like, that was his Smile was his, like, one true friend.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I
so
don't-
sad when he
Yeah.
came out of the goo of fear. With
Yeah,
the
and
smile
he's still
still on
smiling.
his face.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah.
smiling, holding both pendants, dude. Ugh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that sucked. But you do get like some light into X's abilities, and I still don't truly know what the fuck it really
My
is.
guess is X's abilities are he can either take over the animation, like he is the animator, right? Or he can just break the fourth wall. I don't. Both of them are crazy, insane abilities, right? But I don't know what exactly it is. I assume it'll be. Spoiler alert: it's still not even touched on after episode 24. Really, you get to see his ability more, a lot more, but it
yeah.
doesn't explain exactly what it is.
I thought it was like
Now-
a comic ability to where, yeah, you're saying illustrator, but more of like he's his own main character in his
Yeah.
anime. So
Yeah.
whatever he's present in, he has full control of that area.
Now, do you think other people realize whenever the animation gets changed and he
Yeah,
snaps?
it's shown with Ahu.
Okay, so people realize that the animation changes. So like the entire world gets changed from 2D to 3D. People realize it, I guess.
I don't know if everybody realizes it, but I think the heroes do.
That's because that's what I was wondering. Like, because like, what if you're like busting down or beating down a bad bitch, right? Like you,
God damn.
and then he snaps, and then you're like, fucking, now she's blocky, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
God damn.
Dude, these are the questions that I have.
Something
Like,
to think
people
on.
know
Hey,
this,
that's
people
a
see it.
good question. What if all of a sudden
And-
you're Steve from Minecraft?
Yeah, dude, and then like, fucking, yeah, you're fucking a square, dude. I don't understand. I have it in my notes, so I just wanted to share.
I mean, good note. That was definitely worth taking a note on. Uh, anyway, so that's where my notes end. I didn't take notes on the last two episodes, but I just watched them today, so I kind of remember. If you want me to keep giving a version, or if one of y'all want to come in and give the last two summaries, doesn't matter
See,
to me.
the 23rd
next-
episode I watched on Tuesday.
Oh, dang.
So I don't quite remember what happens in episode
All right,
23.
I do 23. One of y'all are doing 24. How about that?
Deal.
Okay. So 23 is about Ahu, who is the dog. This, by far, was my favorite fucking episode of the whole series. And going in, when I saw this, like what we were talking about last week, like when they were doing the original marketing push, I'm like, why the fuck is there a dog? Who cares about the dog hero? That seems boring, dude.
Yeah.
After so many intros, I was like, "Where's the dog?
Yeah,
Where's this
same.
detective
I was
dog?
like, where the fuck is this dog at?
dude. This
Is
turned
he like
out,
an undercover dude?"
I thought it was the one that they were pulling the fucking fear out of. I'm like, they're killing him.
dude.
He's the sword.
This episode had everything, dude. It had action. It would tug on the heartstrings, and it was just genuinely a good story. So Ahu originally was a circus dog. He was very talented, but he hated it. He could breathe fire, do the fire blowing thing with the alcohol and the torch. He could do high dives. He could juggle. He was a circus dog through and through. And well, one day he hated it, and one day all these kids that love him are coming around him, taking pictures, calling him a clown, and he hates being called a clown. Well, he bites one of the kids in the hand, and after that, he gets sent straight to the pound. And then I don't remember her name. Any of y'all remember her name?
No.
Shinya?
Shinya?
I don't remember her.
Was
Yeah.
that it? Okay, so Shinya shows up and it basically rescues him from the pound and is determined to make this dog a hero. And throughout the show, there's a little bit of a backstory where her grandmother, I think it was, and a bunch of these elderly people are about to lose their houses to a hero agency because they want the land. And they're being basically
Evicted.
evicted, but forced / pressured to sign over their deeds to the DOS company.
Yeah.
And they're using hired muscle and heroes to convince them. Well, during this trying to make Ahu a hero process, Ahu ends up fighting these thugs that show up to try and get the deeds. And that's when I'm sorry, what'd you say your name was again? Shinya. Shinya's like, all right, he can be a hero. I've been trying, now I see it. Well, after that scene where they beat up the thugs, there's a little cut in time where she goes on her marketing campaign of Ahu, and then she comes back home one day and her grandmother's like, oh, DOS showed up with a hero today, and it was hard to say no to somebody famous. Well, a bunch of people in their neighborhood, except her grandmother, had signed over a deed, and Shinya's like, all right, I'll go get him back. So her and Ahu go break into this building, and there's a villain who is consumed, or a villain / maybe was a hero. They didn't say exactly who he was, who is working for DOS and has all the deeds. And she sneaks into the office, gets the deeds, and she steps on a stick, of course, or a piece of wood, and breaks it, while Ahu's distracting this thug. And then fight scene / chase scene ensues, and Ahu's kicking a little ass for a second there, but then turns out this thug dude who's consumed by fear, his ability is that he can replicate himself, and they quickly get overwhelmed. At some point, they split up while they're in the stairways because Ahu's tired. He's a fat dog. And Shinya gives him the deeds and is like, hey, you got to return home with these. I'll find a way out. And she runs up the stairs and Ahu runs off. Well, Shinya ends up falling off the building, and Ahu is spending this time running to go find her, to help her. And during this, when he finally meets back up with her, the fear thug like kind of rematerializes and is about to throw an axe at Ahu.
Well, X helps for
Yeah.
a little
Oh,
bit.
that's right. Yeah, X shows up and Ahu starts calling him the magician.
Mhm.
Yeah.
X shows up, starts beating some of these thugs up, and Ahu is finally able to make it back to Shinya. That's right. Thank you. So there's a little bit of a back or a flashback, and turns out Ahu's biggest fan while he was in the circus turned out to be Shinya. And
Yep.
this is where the trope of the trust value starts. Shinya, like, there's a big stone block, and all of a sudden it goes from 0 and turns, and it's 1. And Ahu's trust value is now 1. And he gets the power to somewhat fight against this thug, but then Nice shows up and beats the shit out of Ahu.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ahu and Shinya are both laying on the ground defeated, and the thug goes to throw an axe. I'm sorry, I have this mixed up. When the axe is thrown, that's when his trust value becomes 1, and he's able to fetch the axe basically and throw it back at the thug, cutting him in half. And this episode ends with poor Nice going back to the DOS head. I don't remember his name. He's a prick. And it's like, oh, I failed again. And he's like, oh, well, then I have absolutely no more use for you. You know, piss off. And this is where the episode finally connects to the current timeline. And at the end, Nice is on the building that he jumps off of in episode 1.
Yeah, X teleports him there.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was 23. Best episode of the series. If you don't watch the show at all, watch this episode. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple notes I had were scenes were made to fill the situation perfectly.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
a compilation of Ahu and Shinya, like to get him popular. The detective, like undercover part where they go into the bad guys' lair or hideout to get the deeds. It
Mhm.
just feels like secret agent.
Yeah.
And then whenever Ahu goes to get the attention of the goon, it feels more like comedic again, and it's like more upbeat than the chasing scene, and then the fight scenes. Definitely like perfect music, like just overall scene creation there.
Yeah, by far my favorite episode. In my opinion, some of the best animation of this series. They, like whenever it starts, you're expecting, after all these episodes leading up to this, you're expecting something else, showing Nice and his downfall, new Isoul, blah blah blah. Then you get a dog in a circus, and you're like, "What the fuck's happening?" And then you finally realize that this is the dog that they've been talking about, that you've been seeing, and how his story starts, where he gets to the girl, and then everything. I mean, the entire story was of this. This episode could use its own anime
100%.
by itself.
Oh yeah.
And I would watch that 10 times over. This was by far my favorite episode.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah.
Now, Queen's still my favorite hero, but Ahu's knocking on the door.
Yeah. And the fact that they animated Ahu a butthole every time that it showed him behind.
That was further down. Yeah.
I wrote that down too. I was like, I can't believe that they gave him a butthole for every scene that's showing
How do I
him
see
from
this man's anus? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very intrigued at the animals having trust, power, and value. That was an interesting situation.
Yeah, and I know this is a world full of like fucking aliens and shit, but like him being able to get trust value, him being able to talk.
Even with one trust.
Yeah, with one trust, he can fucking chop down with an axe. And him wearing a little hat. I thought that was pretty cool. I fucking love this one. It's my favorite.
Yeah, dude, it was wild because I think they said after that event, it was obviously, the FOMO drones show up and start live streaming it. He jumped to hero rank 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, this was another one. Like, as Nice is shown back up to the dude, the head of DOS, he's like, a dog is literally better than you. Like, you're beneath a dog. You are worthless to me now.
I mean, the neighborhood did glaze him, though, because of the act that Shinya had built for him, and seeing how he's like the powerful dog for the mighty.
Yeah. I felt so. This is like the episode to where I was like, I knew that Nisa did all these bad things, these horrible things, and I know that he dies. You see that shit in the first episode.
Well,
But part of me
I
is
was
like
not
rooting.
expecting this. Like, I didn't think.
Part of
Like,
part
the
of me
way.
never.
Go ahead.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
Part of me was hoping that he would like come to the realization that this is all just a ploy. He's just a pawn. Obviously, I know it doesn't happen, but part of me was like rooting for him to snap out of it and gain consciousness of his surroundings. Obviously, he jumps off the building, so it doesn't happen. But
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
like-
like an odd. I felt so bad for Nice in this episode.
I think it was in his desperation of wanting to be a top 10 and how the DOS leader was treating him and just giving him that. And it shows on that episode where he fights Smile, how he had that warmth, had that, like, I want to be a hero.
Yeah.
But then you see the DOS leader bring him down into the darkness and, like, keep him there. And that's where he's just scared.
Yeah, he
He
also
doesn't know
got
what
one
to
drop
do.
of fear on him during the Ahu fight with the goon.
Yeah, because the goon gets cut in half with the axe, and then his blood splatters, and it lands on Nice, and then he goes back to the DOS guy, and he's like, "Hey, I just need a little bit more time," and the guy's like, "Hey, that sucks. A dog's better than you. You can just go away."
Yeah.
Are we going to see Evil Nice? Oh, we've seen everybody else turn evil with fear?
Oh, he kills himself. Well, maybe
Well, he
episode
came
24
back.
set it up to be maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else about this episode, Trav? You wanna?
Yeah.
I had a couple of things.
Before I was interrupting you so much, I honestly was not expecting, because Moon set it up to where, like, she was like, Nice was a piece of shit. But I genuinely was not expecting him to be this much of a piece of shit. I
agree.
honestly thought it was just like Moon hated him because she was forced to be there. He was overly perfect, and he just killed himself from stress. I did not think he was going to kill himself because of all the horrible shit he was forced to do.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that he's about to get succumbed by fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Is he?
Just talking about X's ability being explained a little more. Well, I mean, I guess showed off a little more when he's fighting the goons with the detective dog, and how the dog's just like watching him just go off.
Oh, he keeps referring to him as the magician.
Yeah, the magician's here.
Yeah, I wanted to call it like his best friend or man's best friend power whenever he goes to catch that axe to save her. 'Cause I was like, dang, that's sad. She's about to die, and that's just gonna fuel more of his story. But no, he goes in there and gains that trust.
Yeah, I'm glad
Yeah.
they saved her. I know that's a overly used trope too. I'm glad that Shinya is still kicking, because I honestly thought they were about to kill her.
I did too. I thought that was gonna be like Ahu's like
Tragic
I guess
backstory.
Little Johnny, yeah, Big Johnny story or whatnot. Or Little Johnny story is that, he saw her, get killed, and he's like on revenge.
Tragic beginnings.
Yeah, but I am glad that because the entire time that scene was happening, I was like, oh, she's about to fucking
Yeah,
die.
because Shinya was set up as like a genuine character,
Yeah, and I'm
just
like,
a
these
pure-hearted,
characters never last.
like girl.
Yeah,
And then how when X. Wait, did we get into X's part here?
No, 24.
No,
we didn't really
24
get into
opens
X.
with Ahu waking up Shinya in the hospital.
Yeah, X does some things in episode 23. He basically puts the goon on a piece of board, which I thought was fucking awesome. And then transport's Nice, and then his powers really show in 24. I mean, that's where we get the most of it.
Yeah, that was it for them though.
Yeah.
All right, which one do y'all want to do 24? Everybody's tired of hearing me talk.
Izzy, you want me to take it? You got it. Doesn't matter.
Grab it. We'll just bounce around.
Yeah, we can.
I'll
So
be
episode,
quiet.
I start now then.
All right.
Bitch. All right, episode 24. So it starts with, and this is where I also got confused, is X was working a job. He was a salary man in a business, and he's basically just watching the time tick down so that he can leave. Time goes, he leaves, he goes, gets beers and some some meat skewers and goes back to his sad little apartment and cracks one open for Nice and starts
Smile.
drinking and eating.
Wow.
Or Smile, yeah, thank you. And Ahu is like, we can't let him be a god. We need to go figure out what anything we can about X. So he's staking out and he's on top of the roof across the street and um, he sees X and he realizes what his identity is. And then X obviously realized that he had been following him since he got off work and brought him into his apartment and basically changed the animation to where he was like a little pixelated dog running around the room. Um, it cuts to where some commission guys, like their task force, I guess, is breaking down their walls, and you get this long fight scene. Basically, that's most of the episode is fight scenes where it shows off X's abilities of changing the animations, teleporting as well. You see guys running out of. He teleports on top of the building, and where they're standing is off the building, and they all fall and die. And he basically
That-
takes Ahu
Mhm.
and starts to, I guess, explain. He snaps him, teleports them to a bar. Is like, I'm gonna go grab a couple drinks, and he sits down and starts explaining Ahu and about how the commission and all these groups are basically just there to,
Stop him from becoming a god.
yeah, stop him from being, a god.
The next
And
Zero.
yeah, and he talks about, he snaps him and brings him to this place to where he starts talking about the original dragon, the original hero, and how he was basically a god. There was no commission or no groups to control his powers, and how everybody loved him. And of course, there can't be light without dark. So he ends up killing a bunch of heroes, and everybody thinks that, when the commission was created and the heroes began to unionize, basically, that they killed off the original hero. But Psyche, we find out that basically, from what I understood, that Rock is the original hero, Hero Zero, and that they were so caught up in keeping X not a god and caught up with all these heroes and all the money that they didn't realize that they never killed the original hero that they sought out to kill.
All right.
And then, yeah.
I got some info. So
Go ahead.
all that, yeah, you're pretty much right. But from what I understand on the backstory, and it was said in one of the episodes, that Rock's father was the one who originally, like, got
Zero.
Zero his fame.
Yeah.
So there's still a chance that Rock is Zero. I don't know that for sure. It's heavily implied in this last episode, but my understanding is that Rock wants to revive Zero.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of his like most
Loyal followers.
loyal followers. Yeah.
See, I didn't know if that was how they were leading it or if how, like, they were like, hey, we didn't kill the last hero or the first hero. And then
Yeah.
it pans to Rock. And then you're like, oh, shit. That's what I thought that they were making it out to be. That this entire time, they never killed him.
Yeah, and then this episode also introduces a bunch of unintroduced characters, and their name flashes on the screen for half a second. We caught absolutely none of them.
I
But
saw
there's-
Bug.
there's-
There was
there's-
one called Bug.
Yeah, there's a witch lady in a maid costume, which is sweet. That's
I
all
would. They
got.
need more of her.
They're riding
Yeah.
a broom. Yep.
Yep.
And then at the very end,
Frozone.
Yeah,
I did-
Frozone was there. Yeah.
Frozone, my boy Lucius.
Yeah.
So at the very end, X snaps Ahu into the tournament, and they're about to fight. And it shows all the top 10 heroes coming up, and of course, number 10 is Nice. Nice is alive and well. Well,
Well,
not well, but he's
Yeah,
alive.
Lin Ling was there, and then a Nice with like a broken looking face was there.
So yeah, technically, I guess that means there are 11. I'm looking at the final 10 characters here, and their rankings. And number 10 is
Go ahead
Nice,
and run through them
and
all.
number 1 is of course X. Number 2 is Queen. 3 Dragon Boy. 4 Ghost Blade. 5 the Johnnies. 6 Lollies. 7 Lucky Cyan. 8 Ahu. 9 Isol, and then 10 is Nice and Lin Ling. So there's 11 fighting in this tournament.
Yep. And unfortunately, this whole 24 episodes is building up to this hero tournament, and we see none of it.
Yeah, so that's basically where the last scene is them panning around Nice, and he's all fucked up, broken, looks like he's like fucking porcelain cracked.
Yeah.
Cracked porcelain. Yeah.
And yeah, there she goes.
I did like how this episode had the comic animation and 3D animation variances. Of course, being through Nice's power, but when he sees the detective dog just hanging out, hanging out his apartment, that's when I started to see it, like the texture on the in that episode. And whenever he's using his power, it shifts between, but you see it whenever he's in control or he's in a scene. That like, this is what he's doing.
Yeah, I like the part where Ahu's like, I can stop him. I just got to make sure he doesn't see me. And then it's like, oh shit, he saw me. And X snaps him into his apartment as a pixel art character on his walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crazy and what I do love about it is whenever X is showing off his abilities, every time he snaps to use his power, the animation changes, and the cinematics whenever X does his abilities is fantastic.
It's very, very well
They
done.
do so well on every time he snaps, it changes, and he's either walking as a pixelated art on a wall, or all of the people, everything changes to a different style. They did very good, very well on that.
This was as far as if you're just a fan of very well done animation, this is the episode to watch for sure. Actually, 23 and 24, if you don't watch this series at all, watch those 2 episodes.
It gave Into the Spider-Verse animation to me because of the differences in the art style and then 3D, 2D, bouncing back and forth.
Never seen it.
Yeah, me either.
Very good.
I've heard it's great. I've heard it's great,
yeah,
but I've just never watched it myself.
Yeah, I've also heard it's fantastic, and I've never watched it. But yeah, dude, this episode was really good. I liked it to an extent. I do like the fact of the cinematics of X's abilities. Of course, that is literally 70% of the episode, or just random fucking heroes fighting him and him snapping his fingers and doing some crazy shit. I really don't know how they're gonna stop that. The man can stop time and tear you off of the fucking space-time continuum and fucking Kobe you into a river.
Yeah, it reminds me of Hero, or I guess Sorcerer from JJK, where he has the power of like cinematics, and he can take a frame in time, and he captures it.
Shit. It's
I've only
chick's
seen the one
dad.
with JJK.
It's shit. What's her name? The chick that doesn't have any sorcerer abilities. It's her dad.
Oh yes, well him, and that's what he literally does. Just crumbles him up.
It's a really cool concept. I mean, I've only ever seen one season of JJK, and I don't know if that ever came about.
No,
that
that's
I
in the
recollect.
second season.
Cool. So I don't remember that, and the seeing it because this is the first time I've seen some interstellar shit, where he's basically just like fucking with space and time and
matter and all of it.
Everything.
Yeah.
And that was really cool concept. Really cool concept.
All right. Well, overall thoughts on the series as a whole?
Left me on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yep. Yeah. I think
coaster.
It was amazing. My only critique is the first 12 episodes are way better paced than the next, than episode 12 through 17. Or 13 through 17.
Yeah, the pacing's off in the very beginning episodes, especially. To where
I'm not talking about the timeline jumping. I'm just saying the pacing as the characters' stories as a whole are, I think, a little more well done in the first 12.
No,
this happens and this happens, yeah.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is the first 2 episodes where you're basically watching the same shit.
Yeah.
Just
from
in
different point of
opposite
views.
perspectives. That was really fucking annoying. So yeah, I agree that the first 12 episodes, how they did the timeline, minus the fact that they were jumping around in years, was really well done. The second 12 episodes, they could have done a little bit better on the pacing of everything. But I really liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too.
I liked it a lot more than what I thought I was going
Out
to like
of
it.
what have we done? 4 series now.
Yeah, out of give it your 1 out of 10 booms.
I mean, Erase has been my favorite. This is a completely different genre than Erase, so it's kind of hard to compare them. But overall,
Yeah.
I'd give this one like a solid, probably like a
Would you-
7.78.
Would you consider this a shonen, or what would you call this?
I don't know what is considered because it's like Chinese, so I don't know if like the normal tags would apply.
But
know
if
what
you
I'm
could give it a tag, what do you think it would be considered?
I think just action. I don't.
Just an
It's not shonen. Shonen implies that there's one male lead character.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah,
they're usually high school age is what is the definition of shonen. Like,
yeah. So I guess action drama.
action drama for sure.
I would give it a solid 8.5 in my book out of 10.
Fair.
Ooh.
I give it a pretty high. I really
Yeah, for the current season, I think a 9, a resounding 9.
Ooh, dang, big guy.
All around, music is great. The scenes
Music
are
is
great.
fantastic. Animation's really good.
Drama, the action, all
How
of it. It
everything
just ties in
intertwines
amazingly.
together.
Yeah,
No,
like
don't-
having seen the replayed episodes, just the fact that they tie into each other and like we learn about Ghost Blade and how it makes sense. It's okay.
I think my favorite thing is the fact that in episode 13, you're really fucking pissed off at Johnny. He's just a fucking annoying kid. And they make you feel that. And then in episode 14, you realize this is why he's like that.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a round robin, and I really like that. I really do.
Yeah. The only reason I'd say it's definitely an 8. The only reason I'm giving it a 7.7 is just because I hate the plot line of Aliens. Like, I just think it's a way to explain something without explaining it. I'm interested to see, maybe, who knows, maybe this will change my mind when the second season comes out and there's a good explanation for the aliens. But
Yeah, why they were there.
I'm open to
the
have my
power.
mind changed. But right now, it's like Aliens, kind of a overdone, lazy plot line, in my opinion.
Yeah, if the aliens wasn't a plot line and they actually made a plot line for it, it's a 9.
Now, but on the other
But
hand,
8.5 with the
Dawn to
aliens.
Dawn aliens, perfect. So there's
Yeah,
a good
'cause
way to do
that
it.
is-
There's
yeah,
good
there
ways
is.
to do it. This one feels like, to me right now, it's going towards the I can't think of a reason why aliens kind of deal. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree. Because you only get really one full episode or 1.5 episodes of the aliens, and
Yeah.
they don't tell you why they were there, what their powers were, what entirely happened. I mean, that plot line is just, hey, there's aliens here.
Yeah, we're also just 3 dumb dudes, so we may have missed some nuances. So if that was explained, please let us know.
Yeah, please.
We don't know.
Please.
Yeah.
That'll make my ranking go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, now we either sit here and talk about a bunch of shows on Crunchyroll, or we leave it up as a surprise. Up to y'all.
Oh, I'm down for a
I like
surprise.
a surprise.
Yeah, I said we go ahead and
All
cut
right.
it and figure it out.
So next week, some good news. We are obviously trying to still figure out the best way to do this. Izzy came up with a great idea. Each one of us is going to cover an arc. So instead of, me talking too much, if you hate my voice, good news. I'm only going to be talking a third of the amount next week. And one other thing, shout out to one of our biggest fans, my dad Felix. He's watched every episode, and he's even had some people text me and ask for the YouTube link to get to watch the episodes.
Hell yeah, let's go, Fee.
All right, so yeah, we'll end it this week here, and next week we'll be back with some random episode of something we can find on Crunchyroll. Y'all take it easy.
See you,
Peace.
brothers.
Shoot, I don't have OBS in the foreground.